What does it say?
So I think we're live on Facebook now. Welcome everyone. My name is Amy Elias and I am the director of the UT Humanities Center. And I'm really glad you're here today on Big Orange Give Day for our annual Zoomathon. We started this last year. We had so much fun that we decided to do it again this year. Today we have a wonderful group to start off our day, which is our community friends and our Board of Friends members and our friends and supporters. So the people that you see on the screen today are people that are really invested in the Humanities Center for lots of really different reasons. I'd remind you that Big Orange Give is a day that you can give to the entire university. You can go to the giving page at the Big Orange Give for the University of Tennessee. You can give to the College of Arts and Sciences, you can give to the university, but you can also give to the UT Humanities Center. We have a really special day today because we have a match gift. An anonymous donor has given a match of $5,000, and during the course of the day, you have the opportunity to give small gifts that will add up to match that gift. And what that means that we can double that gift by the end of the day. So we really hope that if you have participated in our public programming, if you've been a fellow here at the center, if you've participated in our research seminars, if you've even just attended our distinguished lecture series, that you believe in us enough and you believe in the liberal arts at the University of Tennessee enough that you would like to contribute to us today. And it's a very easy giving page. You can, I hope I can share. You can see us at a page like this and just type in your information and your gift, and we will receive that gift and to continue our free and public programming. So thank you for being here. And I'd also remind you that we're here all day. We have three sessions today, and we have a public book circle discussion at 7 p.m. with Robert Bast, who will be talking about Patrick Wyman's book, The Verge, Reformation, Renaissance in 40 Years That Shook the World, 1490 to 1530, which is a really popular book that was made into a television series as well. And Robert Bast is a distinguished professor at UT who will lead that discussion. So thanks for being here. And I'd like everyone to just say hello if they could. Perhaps, Stephen, you have the most technical issues. Would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I'm not carrying on a separate conversation. I'm actually tuned in. My name is Stephen Wicks. I'm curator at the Knoxville Museum of Art. I've been part of the museum since 1990, and one of the things I'm proudest of is our museum's focus on championing great artists with ties to East Tennessee. So thanks, Amy.
And you do a great job, really terrific job. What do you have on exhibition right now, Stephen?
Actually, nothing. Show just came down, and we're about to install an exhibition celebrating art by K through 12 artists who are the most talented and recognized in each of their classes in a variety of media. And those works have been judged by a local team of experts. So right now the galleries are empty, but they're soon to be filled top to bottom.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Tommy, would you like to say hello?
My name is Tommy Rush. I'm an artist here in Knoxville. I'm on Amy's advisory board. She inherited me from Dr. Heffernan. And I believe in her mission so much that I've already made a contribution today. And I've personally attended many fascinating lectures and seminars, and it just adds to the vitality of our creative community. So thank you, Amy.
Thanks so much. Tommy has been a wonderful supporter and a vital living part of the energy of the center for a number of years now. Hi, John. Would you like to say hello?
Sure. I'm John Chandler. I'm a lawyer in Atlanta. I graduated from UT in 1966. Was then drafted into the Army, and this is my 3rd Armored Division hat for Veterans Day. A few years ago, before the Humanities Center was established. I was talking about Dean Lee. I'd supported arts and sciences. That's where my degree is from, in political science, although history was my love. And I said, I want to do something, more specific. And I think the hard sciences do better at raising money than the things I love. The two best courses I took at UT, apart from history and political science, maybe including them, was an art history course and an introduction to classical music, which have helped me enjoy all of that for all of my life. Dean Lee said, we're getting ready to start a Humanities Center. How about that? And I have been involved in supporting the Humanities Center ever since. One more thing, as horrible as the pandemic was, the fact that it forced the university to figure out how to use the damn computer to broadcast programs was a wonderful thing. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I get to UT once a year, once every 2 years, once every 3 years, something like that. And I had talked for a while about, hey, you got a big possible audience out there. Let's start broadcasting. Well, nobody knew how to do that, but pandemic, university discovered Zoom. And while I occasionally have conflicts and miss some of the public books course, I missed the last lecture because I was out of town. I go to every one that I can. And it provides a connection to the humanities at UT for folks all over. And, most people who go to UT don't stay in Knoxville, they go somewhere else. So I'm so proud of Amy, what you have done and what Tom did before you. And I look forward to more great things, including this afternoon and tonight's lecture. So thank you.
Yeah, it's true, John. We had everything live on campus when I got the position here, and we were very used to doing that. But actually working with Stephen for the Delaney Baldwin Symposium that happened in February of 2020, which seems like eons ago now, that really opened my eyes, not only to how much work is to be done to connect with our community partners, but also the fact that many of the people that I talked to hadn't been on the UT campus or hadn't been to any of the events that we advertised. And I kind of realized that even though we put posters downtown and we kind of had things at our website, that didn't enable people, right, to really participate and come to the events. Parking is very hard on campus sometimes, and people have trouble traveling. I have a lot of people who are not in the Knoxville area, right, and who would love to participate. So, we, Stephen, maybe we can talk about that for a minute.
I'd love to, yeah. Amy, you were a fantastic collaborator. I'll never forget sitting here in my office talking to you about our exhibition and how much it meant to our community and my hopes that it could make an impact beyond East Tennessee, and seeing the lights bulb going off in your excitement about the possibility of putting together an international symposium that could bring some of the key scholars from far and wide to explore this fascinating 38-year relationship between James Baldwin and Knoxville-born Buford Delaney, and just how things spiraled and mushroomed in such a fascinating way. I feel like it was easily the most fruitful, successful partnership between UT and KMA ever. I think it brought a stellar slate of scholars, the people that you were able to lure here to talk about art historical themes, literature, Black aesthetics, queer and gender studies. I mean, there's so many things that the symposium did that expanded on our exhibition and created this rich context. One of the other things too that I heard in talking to some of the scholars was how much fun they were having, how the environment that you created there just served to bring out the best in them in terms of their presentations, but also just the way they were able to connect between sessions. I also loved the way that you reached out to the Delaney estate, as we did. We borrowed a number of works from the Delaney estate, which is based here in Knoxville, but you got the Delaney estate and UT on a whole new page, and organizing that estate exhibition so that scholars who are there in the student center could actually go downstairs and view works that hadn't been seen from the estate. That was a special experience. I think one of the things that I'm excited about is that the symposium and the Delaney estate, what that did now has created some new opportunities to help anchor Buford Delaney's legacy in Knoxville in ways that I can't talk about yet, but they're really exciting. And I think they, again, help establish Knoxville as this international Delaney Center of Excellence. So kudos.
Well, kudos to you too. I mean, people should know that you curated one of the most amazing exhibitions of Buford Delaney's work that I think anyone has seen. It was absolutely stunning, and we synergized our symposium with the KMA's exhibition so that people attending our symposium from all over the country could also view works at the KMA. But I'd also say that working with one of the things, Stephen, that experience taught me was that working with community partners allows more expertise to be developed, but also shared, right? So working with Renee Kessler at the Beck Cultural Exchange Center, working with you at the Knoxville Museum of Art, working with the Delaney Project chaired by Sylvia Peters, working with the Tennessee Historical Society, working with the Knoxville Opera Company.
Les Amis de Buford Delaney in Paris.
Les Amis, right, with Monique Wells, who is a champion of Buford Delaney from the, for what, 20 years now. And so, I mean, what it allowed me to do is see that there can be a wonderful flow of information and expertise between the university kind of academic expertise and deep research expertise, and the deep research expertise that is in the community that is not necessarily academic, right? In the sense that it's not part of the university, but it is incredible expertise, and we have so much to learn from one another. And so creating those flows is something I think the Humanities Center can really develop over time.
You provided us with a programmatic apparatus that we could not have come close to doing on our own. That to me was a huge gift. I also feel as if some of the new findings that came about through those presentations are now opening up all kinds of new interest in Delaney and Baldwin on the part of other museums and other curators. I think the fact that we were able to tell lenders of some of the major paintings that we had this symposium and this partnership, it provided leverage for some of those key loans that we might not have gotten otherwise. Some really important paintings were part of that show.
Well, I thank you for that collaboration. Tommy, go ahead.
I have to sign off, plus I've lost my connection 3 times, but I would love to give a plug to you, because one of the things I learned during the symposium is the absolute respect you're held in by your colleagues. It was astounding. So we are so lucky to have you, so you can't go anywhere.
Thank you. That's very sweet. No, I am dedicated. I am dedicated to UT, and I'm dedicated to the UT Humanities Center, mainly because I get to work with y'all, right? I mean, I get to meet wonderful people and also do events like this, right? Which I just can't emphasize enough. And John, perhaps you speak and we can end on this note. Tommy, if you have to go, I understand. One of the deep honors of being a Humanities Center director is that I get to showcase the outstanding faculty at the University of Tennessee in 9 different departments, but also all of our affiliated collaborations. And so, you know, having the range of expertise in history, art, music, English, religious studies, philosophy, 1 foreign languages. These are incredible scholars. And I get to spend my time all day long showcasing their work, right? And making sure that they connect with you, the public, and that they get support for the work that they do through fellowships, through grant aids, through the programs that we run. And so, John, I think I'll let you end up here by just saying, because I know you attend all this stuff and I know you enjoy it. And I was wondering if you just wanted to sign us off on a note of, you know, why people should invest in a humanities center and instead of the other things that might be demanding their time or money.
The Humanities Center, to me, emphasizes the things that are at the center of our lives. Art, history, we haven't done much music, that are so important to human beings' full enjoyment and understanding of life. And that's from my standpoint, from the standpoint of what you do for scholars who can come spend a year at the Humanities Center and have help if they need it, or at least the seclusion to work on that great research that you just can't do in an everyday department in a university. I think it's doing so much to promote scholarship at the University of Tennessee. And I sometimes think it must be hard for you to switch from being a place for scholars to work, to have to deal with all of us on the outside. But we receive so much from it, and I encourage everybody to support the Humanities Center. When you go to look for the Humanities Center to make a contribution, it's not under H, it's under U. It's the UT Humanities Center. I almost couldn't find it this morning. So UT Humanities Center is the place to make a gift. And as Amy said, it will be matched. And I hope you'll do that.
Thank you.
And Stephen, I'm so glad to meet you. I have not met you before. I look forward to coming to your museum next time I'm in Knoxville.
Well, thank you all for being here. And I hope those of you who are joining us live that you can stick around at 11:30. We have a Chandler seminar with, which is a meeting with our UTHC fellows who they present their research throughout the year that they are here at the center. And we will be meeting with Caitlin Branham-Thresh, who is a graduate student PhD fellow here this year. And she will be talking about the title of her talk is the title of her dissertation in progress, which is Books of Feminine Devotion, Female Influences on Meditative Lives of Christ and Their Readers in Late Medieval England. So it should be fascinating. And I hope you can join us at 11:30. Thanks so much, Stephen. Thanks so much, John. Hope to see you soon.